Hi, I'm Jane King, and get ready for the New to the Street Sustainable segment with the Sustainable Green Team CEO Tony Rayner and team. Take a closer look at problems and the possible solutions as they strive with their partners to bring sustainable products to stores across America. Here we go.
With the planet facing growing challenges like carbon loss, soil degradation, and the overuse of fertilizers and pesticides, one company is stepping up to make a difference: the Sustainable Green Team. CEO Tony Rayner is on a mission to revolutionize how we care for our environment. And teaming up with him is none other than America's favorite fisherman, outdoor legend Jimmy Houston. For over 47 years, Jimmy has been a passionate advocate for the outdoors, loved by millions of Americans. Together, they're working to protect our planet and transform the future of sustainable living.
A lot of people don't really know what we're up to, and the amount of content that is going to be created, and a lot of information it's going to be like a download for what you're doing here on this ranch, and the amount of content that's going to come out. It's going to inspire people to want to do better.
Well, absolutely. We've got several different projects we got going here. We did about 4 or 5 different things yesterday. We'll be doing some things tomorrow. We'll be doing more as time goes by. We've got some of our food plots. We've got, like I told you, I don't know exactly, but probably in the neighborhood of about 100 acres of food plots. That's a lot of food plots. That's where we plant seed in the fall, sometimes in the spring as well, and we're growing. We're growing a food plot. But yeah, we've got a lot of things we will be doing in addition to the things we've done. We'll do some stuff continually, and then we're going to be watching it happen. Be watching it happen on our social media, some of your social media, Chad's social media. We can do and share and stuff. And we're going to really be seeing what the products that the Sustainable Green Team is creating, how that works real time, real life, as we watch it go. Now, we can't make a miracle of putting some humus oil down and then come in tomorrow and there's big, beautiful green lawn there, because that takes a little bit of time. But we can show things happening from week to week, really. And like our tomato plants, that's kind of a little deal. And who in the world plants tomato plants in August when you got 15 days forecast no rain? And yet we tried it. Now, will those tomato plants grow and that work? We'll find out. We don't know. You and I don't know that. We'll find out. And we'll tell the people the truth. And the same way with planting, some pretty extreme, harsh tests that we've used with humus oil, and then that we'll be doing with all the new products we come out with over the next few months, the next few years, all of the things that will basically help mankind.
Being a part of the outdoors and being involved in, having a ranch like this, and people really do enjoy seeing things that are authentic. What's really happening. All these years that we've seen chemical fertilizers and, the destruction that has really left a warpath of food security issues around the planet. So not only are we making a difference here in America, but this is a global effort. This initiative is huge for people to be able to see in real time how this stuff really does work.
Oh yeah,
and how they can apply it in their home.
And when you talk about creating water in the ground, it's going to do so much for the outdoors, and which has been our livelihood and our life. Basically all of my life. We moved to the lake when I was between my junior and senior year in high school, so when I was 16 years old. And basically the outdoors have been my life, and it is still day by day by day. And when we look at things just as simple as hay pastures, and when a guy cuts your hay, he'll give you a bigger percentage of the deal, because it's basically like an old sharecropper deal. Guy cuts your hay and he gets a percentage of it, and you get a percentage of it. But if you've got fields that are fertilized, which the owner of that field gets a bigger deal. And we've been fertilizing for years and years and years here in America, all over the world. And that fertilizer, while it has increased more hay, it makes more wheat, more corn. We put deal on to kill the bugs. Here, we spray our pecan trees with chemicals, to kill case bears in the spring, pecan weevils in the fall. And all of those have been good, but at the same time, we've been destroying what God created. And we've been destroying the earth. We've been destroying the soil. We've been destroying the air. Nobody, I think, cares more about our environment than hunters and fishermen. We don't have an agenda. We have a life. This is our life, the outdoors. And even if you're not fortunate like I've been in order to be able to, make a living fishing, people say, wow, what a dream job. And people say, have you ever had a real job where you really had to go to work? They don't realize how difficult, how much work you do to fish national tournaments, to do television shows, to do 1,000 social media videos a year and stuff like that, to do, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 personal appearances. You don't realize how much work that is, but it's work, but it's because of what we love to do, the outdoors, the hunting, the fishing. And all of this is so important to us. And when you think about from a tournament fisherman, if we destroy the fisheries, we're out of work. You can't have fish tournaments. If we destroy the fisheries, I can't make a living doing television shows. Bill Dance can't. Roland Martin, Hank Parker, all these great television names has been doing outdoor shows. So it's and even if you are not making a living in it, if you're just a fisherman or a hunter, you want it better. You want it better for your kids, your grandkids, and the only way to do that is to be an environmentalist, a conservationist from the same stance. It sort of seems to me like here in America, maybe not all over the world, but here in America, we look at environmentalists and we think of people that don't want you catching the fish, don't want you hunting the game. We think as a conservationist, those are individuals that's wanting to make everything better for everybody and everything we do in it, enjoying the lakes, the waters, the streams, what God's created. And with this, what we're doing here with the Sustainable Green Team, we're putting it back more to the way God created it. The earth can at one time, perhaps again, become a Garden of Eden. The whole world can become a Garden of Eden.
Making one with nature.
It's exciting to me. I mean,
it is.
I'm an excitable person. You can tell that by just hanging out with me for a few days. But I get excited about hunting stuff, fishing stuff, equipment, lures, a new lake, all kinds of stuff. A new way to make fish larger and a new mix of a Florida fish and a northern fish, or all those kind of things that have come around. But I think that in all of what I've done in the outdoors and what I've done with the passion I have for the outdoors and hunting and fishing, this is like the most exciting thing of all, but when you're actually doing something that helps the water, helps the woods, helps the grass, helps the soil, helps the air, and that's what you're doing.
Is your garden struggling to stay hydrated? Meet Waterless Garden, the organic solution that saves water and boosts your garden's health. Packed with humus materials and trillions of beneficial microbes, Waterless Garden improves soil structure and increases water retention. Use less water, get better results, and watch your garden thrive. Waterless Garden. Less water, more life. Last week, under the blazing Oklahoma sun, legendary fisherman Jimmy Houston planted 8 tomato plants in the unforgiving 100-degree heat. 4 in regular soil and 4 in revolutionary Waterless Garden. With no rain in sight, which plants will rise to the challenge and which will wilt under the pressure? The battle for survival begins now.
Okay, I finally got in. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to back over here and turn this camera around just a little bit and let y'all see just from a distance. I have not been in here messing with these at all. I've not watered either one of these. I've got one side that planted in regular Twin Eagle dirt and humus soil mixed in. I've got another side that's planted totally in Twin Eagle dirt. Now, I watered those that was planted in Twin Eagle dirt, but it's been a week. So it's been a week. So let's take a look at these, see what we got. Okay, this is nothing short of astonishing right here. These are the 4 plants, and they don't look tremendous, but these are the 4 plants in humus soil right here. Take a look at these plants. They've been in there a week. You can see some little dead out there on the end of that one. They've been in here a week. Nothing but humus soil. There's been no water added to it whatsoever. And you can see what these plants look like. Now these are tomato plants, of course. Planted them a week ago. I'm just going to look over here and just take a look at that. Humus soil causes the photosynthesis, causes the sun to cause them to grow year round, all 24 hours a day. You can look at these plants, look remarkably different, remarkably different. Take a look at that dirt. That dirt right there is hard, and the plants are not nearly as big. I'm hoping that Pat can split screen this shot right here so you can see side by side. After 1 week, these plants have not had any water. It is 105 degrees right now as I look at these. We've had 105 and 106 for 3 or 4 consecutive days. No rain whatsoever, no rain whatsoever. These are the 4 plants in regular twin eagle dirt. It's been watered. Now I'm going to water them again and see if I can pick them back up. I'm going to be gone for 2 or 3 days. So, and if they continue to decline, I'm going to add humus oil to them and see if I can bring them back with humus oil. I'm going to just simply walk right over here to the others, and you take a look at those. Huge, amazing, amazing difference in those 4 plants. They were all basically the same when we started. You can see the difference in 1 week, humus oil versus regular twin eagle dirt. What I've seen so far is really, really impressive and got me convinced that we are hooked up with the right company in Sustainable Green Team, the Sustainable Green Team Company. And we'll have lots of products coming out. One of them will be called the Waterless Garden here pretty quickly within the next probably 60 to 90 days or quicker than that maybe. It's just the Waterless Garden and also the Waterless Lawn where you can put this on your grass. And so I'm going to water the other plants over there and go out of town for 2 or 3 days here. We'll see what happens. But so far, after 1 week, amazing difference in the results of humus soil and regular twin eagle grass soil. We have some extreme tests going. I mean, I would say...
Yeah, I'd say you put us to a real test here.
Yeah, I mean, just the little tomato plant deals. And we're going to continue to be doing things in all the food plots, and we're going to have humus soil all over this ranch, and we will come up with new ideas and do new things. And as we get into, you know, next spring when we start planting garden and how much different that garden might be, and we're gonna build a greenhouse like we've been wanting to build for years in one of the old fly pens where we raised pheasant and quail and turned them loose. We're gonna cover that and make a greenhouse out of it, and we'll have, you know, an inside garden that can last till October, November, December right here in southern Oklahoma. And a lot of the fruits and vegetables that we grow in our garden, we feed to our deer. And so we're not only feeding us, and that's one of the cool things that if I'm understanding it correctly, Tony, is that the fruits and vegetables, the grass, the hay, the corn, the soybeans, the milo, that we are either human consumption or animal consumption, it's healthier fruits of your labor, healthier fruits, healthier vegetables, healthier hay, healthier grass. So the animals will be better, and we as humans will be better eating those foods that are produced in land where the soil is right, where the soil is aerated. It's got water down in there, where it's got the minerals. It's got all the right stuff that was going into all of those good fruits that Eve could pick off the tree in the Garden of Eden. That's going to be in the fruits that we eat if we have our vegetable gardens, our pecan trees, all of this kind of stuff. We're going to put it around our pecan trees, baby pecan trees. And so we will be able to watch all that. But if I'm understanding it right, whatever is produced, fruits and vegetables, it's going to be better for us to eat. It's going to help there just from eating, you know, whatever you produce. The tomatoes on the tomato plants, the okra and the okra plants out of the garden, the hay that the cows eat, the food plots that the deer are eating on, and the turkeys are eating on, and the elk are eating on. All that they are healthier because of coming up from. And I keep thinking of this, and I come back to it, and it all pops into a circle of Lion King, the circle of life that God actually created.
That's right.
And we're just sustaining it, trying to put it back to where God made it in the first place. And we as humans, our deal to make better was always chemical type products. And we've destroyed, in making better and producing bigger and better, whatever, we've destroyed the soil.
And that's the really nice thing about Sustainable Green Team and its products, that they're chemical free. They're sustainable, and the biologics that we use and how we're restoring what has been broken. We're really in the restoration business.
Right.
So you have a healthy soil, you have healthy plants, healthy animals, healthy people. That sets up for a pretty good, successful life, to have healthy lifestyle and really sustainable.
I'm kind of wondering, Tony, and maybe this is a little far-fetched, but I'm kind of wondering if what we're doing might be putting a little smile on God's heart.
I think so.
I think it might be.
These guys here are really hurting. I think I could actually just add humus oil to the top of this. But probably what I'll do is we'll see what happens when I come back. If these guys are still alive, which I think they will be after we add this water right here. You can see that ground is drinking that water big time.
America's favorite fisherman, Jimmy Houston, and the Sustainable Green Team are joining forces to tackle environmental issues like carbon loss, dead soils, and the overuse of fertilizers with Waterless Garden. This partnership is revolutionizing the global fertilizer industry, transforming agriculture and enhancing food security for future generations. SGTM and Jimmy Houston working together for a sustainable future. Previously, legendary fisherman Jimmy Houston took on the ultimate gardening challenge, planting 8 tomato plants under the blazing Oklahoma sun in punishing 100-degree heat. 4 went into regular soil, while the other 4 were planted in the revolutionary Waterless Garden. We're now in week 3 of this brutal torture test. The question is, which plants are thriving and which are struggling to survive? Let's dive in and see what's happening so far.
So this is week 3. This is exactly 3 weeks, 21 days, since we have planted these. And these were little bitty tomato plants. You can see they're actually doing pretty good. And they're doing good because I watered them. I haven't put any fertilizer of any kind, just simply watered them. I'm going to have to stake that one there. It's breaking down. I will stake them all. Actually, we'll put some wire in there on them. We got some wire we'll put in there that they can grow on and grow up, and we'll balance them and where they won't lean over and fall over like that. I'm going to put some water on those and see if I can perk those up, because we hadn't had any rain at all this week since that rain last Sunday. So it's been over a week since we've had any rain. And the other over here I want to show you, and I want you to just look underneath that. You can see there's pretty much just ground, not much happening underneath that at all. But then I'm going to just kind of just pan over to the other side, and those are the plants. Those are the plants right there that are in the soil mixed with humus soil. The Sustainable Green Team company who makes humus soil. It's actually a miracle dirt almost. It's just going to probably replace fertilizer, and it's you got a lot of products they're getting ready to put on the market real soon. You'll be some of the first to know about those in the entire country. So that's looking at them without zoom. That's the way I first look at that. One of these grew up and kind of started leaning over, and I staked it. Not a really pretty stake, but it works. And we'll stake them all. And then we look over there at the others. You can see those and these. The humus soil plants are every bit of twice as big. Plus, they're beginning to get some buds on them. I see some buds starting there. A couple, 2 or 3 little buds right in here. You see those little yellow buds right in here. A couple, 2 or 3 buds. So we should have tomatoes starting on these things pretty quickly. So we better get them staked out. Now let's look at the soil. This is one of the key things. This is the humus soil. We look down through the humus soil. You can see that it's totally different. As we get down and dig, we find it's moist. It's creating its own water under there. I haven't watered these. I'll just let it do its own thing. Here's the other part about it. I want you to look underneath it. That is clover there, I believe, underneath. And look at that clover growing. That's growing because of what's dripping out of the bottom of that. The water that's being made by the humus soil when it's mixing hydrogen and oxygen together in the ground, creating water. That water's dripping out. It's causing that stuff to grow underneath. Look at that, how it's growing. Just the grass and then a little patch of clover right there. Unbelievable, unbelievable. So that is 21 days. That's 21 days comparison of 4 tomato plants against 4 tomato plants in the most harshest of conditions. We had this past week a day of 112, another day of 111, another 109. Made it exact to 101 today, 101 today. We have had no rain since in 9 days, since last Sunday, when it rained 1.9 inches, and it rained 2/10 on a couple other little rains a day or two before that. So a little over 2 inches of rain. But this last week, 9 days with no rain at all. And I have not watered these plants. I'm going to water the regular soil plants over there, see if we can keep them alive. If they get really too ragged looking, I'm going to put some humus soil on them and see if the humus soil can bring them back to life. But that's our tomato test. Looking pretty good. I'm convinced my garden is going to be humus soil for the rest of my life. Convinced of that for sure. Over the telephone, I had never met him yet. Chad, it appears to me that we can grow gardens in the desert. You know, there's a Christian song out now like God makes gardens out of graveyards. Pretty much what we're doing. Pretty much what we're doing. And he said it's exactly what we're doing right now in deserts around the world. And we're making gardens out of there with plants that are growing, healthy plants that are growing, so the people that eat those vegetables are going to be healthy. And I believe we're doing God's work. I believe we're doing God's work.
And utilizing the technologies that we have too, we're able to take really hard to handle waste streams and create nutrients. It's a real win-win situation. You look in America, we throw away 80 million tons a year of food. And food is a great ingredient to put back in through a system. The way our systems work, we're really conscious on having a zero net carbon process. And so we're creating something that's sustainable, and we're utilizing what we have an abundance of. So everybody has to eat. Everybody has to use the bathroom. We have plenty of fiber. And with our technology all put together, we take all of those incredible ingredients and we make humus. And humus is a big, important part of our livelihood.
As you were explaining to me, the humus soil that we put on this ranch here, and when you open a bag and you look at that and you feel the moisture, and those have been in those bags for quite a little while, and they've been producing themselves really, is once you put the catalyst and everything in, been producing themselves, and you open that bag and you take that up and your hands are dirty because of the moisture, and it's black. It looks like the richest, greatest soil you could ever imagine in the river valley of the greatest river, beautiful river running through, making that bottom land for great farms. And you look at that and you look at that and you realize that the humus soil that I have here that we've been using and that we will be using here over the next several years was made from trees that got torn down by a hurricane. Trees, and just dead trees, because once they fall down, they die pretty quickly. They're not trees planted in the ground anymore. They get knocked over by a hurricane. You pick all those trees up, you run them through chippers, you apply the substrates that we apply to it, and then 6 months later, we've got this beautiful soil.
And there's so much life.
Regenerate land that you put it on.
That's it.
Or mix it with.
Yep, so you got this dry looking product to start with, and you end up with this black gold. It's rich, it's moist.
Gold, that's a good word.
You know,
in Oklahoma, we think of that as oil.
Well, maybe we're taking,
make a little change in that. The black gold is also humus oil, yeah.
Yep, from oil to soil.
Yeah, from oil
black
to soil.
gold.
I love it, I love it, love it.
Introducing SGTM's revolutionary deer soil, the ultimate catnip for deer. SGTM has created a groundbreaking product that transforms deer hunting and wildlife observation. Just like cats love catnip, deer will be irresistibly drawn to our deer soil. Our unique blend of organic ingredients and a specially formulated deer attractant creates an environment where deer gather, graze, and thrive. Why choose SGTM's deer soil? Here are the key benefits. 1. Unmatched attraction. The deer attractant is a powerful magnet drawing deer to your plot. 2. Nutrient-rich soil. Our blend provides essential nutrients for deer health and vitality. 3. It's easy to use. Prepare your plot, spread the soil, and let the magic happen. 4. Long-lasting effect. The scent lingers, keeping deer coming back throughout the season. Experience the difference with SGTM's deer soil. Enhance your hunting success and create unforgettable wildlife encounters. SGTM's deer soil, where our unique deer attractants allure meets nature's majesty. Experience the magic of SGTM's deer soil today.
We can reverse the damages that have been
That's
done.
right. That's right. That's exactly
And
what
I
we're
think
doing.
really that's what makes the Jimmy Houston and the SGTM partnership so great, is that we're able to get out there and encourage others to be a part of this movement, to doing what is right. People want to be healthy. People want to eat organic, you know, and so it's really not a complicated scenario.
Simple as their flower garden. They want their flower garden to be prettier and last longer, and they get brighter colors, more vibrant colors, and you know, if the drought, and then around these cities where people have humus soil on their lawn, if they don't have humus soil on there, the cities are going to tell you, okay, you can only water your lawn on Tuesday and Friday if you live in this area, or if you're, you know, and then if a drought goes on, like we're right here where we're sitting right now, no rain forecast the next 15 days. Biggest rain in there is like 17%. So you can reverse that and say 83% chance it will not rain over the next 15 days. 100-degree days, 98, 99-degree days, every single day. These cities around where people live, and they're going off a city water supply, that water supply is going to really be challenged, and they'll be telling people, don't water your lawn, don't water your grass. So they can have humus soil on that grass, and that grass will water itself.
So people are going to hear about the waterless garden, the waterless lawn. They're going to say, what in the heck does that mean? Well, you get to water less.
That's it, you water
Pretty
less.
simple.
And it'll be a product you can go buy at all the places where you buy stuff for your gardens and your
Our mission is to have this product
and your tomato plants and everything else.
Yep, and our mission is to have this product in every retailer across the nation, where you could just go on your phone, order it online, have it to your doorstep, you know, and not only to be able to do that here in America, but globally.
Yeah.
You know, and to be able to have partnerships that we build showing these techniques and these technologies that are very simple. One of the things that when we're looking at all of this, to say 1 tablespoon of humus has more microorganisms than there are people on the planet.
Wow.
And there's almost 8 billion people here on the planet.
Oh yeah, and you know, Tony, that's a little bit easier for me to understand than you might think, because when I talked to Chad, our quantum scientist, on the telephone, and he started explaining to him, I told him, I said, you know, you're talking to a redneck from southern Oklahoma that makes his living fishing, and when I have degrees in economics and degrees in political science from college, but if it was a science or a chemistry class, I ran from it. No, don't sign me up for that. I'm not interested in that. But I can remember basically, you know, what we ended up we're talking about at the end of that phone call was H2O, was water. That was really easy for me to understand. But it's easy for me to understand the microbes, the micro man as we call it, and we developed our own little micro man cartoon character, which is really cool. I mean, I might have to take that dude fishing. I might have to take him
He's
fishing.
going to go fishing, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. We'll put him in a boat and see if he can catch a bass. And the bass might end up eating him, I don't know. But we have millions and billions of micro men. But that's easy for me to understand, because in working with this lake out here, we fertilize this lake. And we fertilize it to create an algae bloom. And what we're doing is we're creating structures of plankton and phytoplankton, which are living organisms, from the bottom up. And it's something that you can't go out there and look and say, okay, I see planktons and phytoplanktons. But you could go down on our dock right there behind us at night, take a spotlight and shine it down in the water, and you will see hundreds of thousands or millions of little tiny sparkles in the water, and you move them and you realize that's what that is. And that's growing, they're so tiny and so little, but even a little bitty tiny crappie or bass, it's like, you know, a 1/4 inch long when they're born. And a bass has 100,000 eggs, and most of those are not going to grow up to be a bass, but this is what these guys have got to eat. So that's starting at the bottom of the food chain, just like we're starting in the ground, but we're starting that in the water that causes that algae bloom and causes that plankton and phytoplankton to multiply probably by the billions. Like you said, you can walk along the dock and shine your spotlight in the water, and you see those, and you can't, I mean, they're just little sparkles is what they are. And that lets those little tiny species of whatever out there, all kinds of stuff that live in the water, that gives them food. And you end up with a 10 or 12 or 14 or 15 pound largemouth bass.
Be sure to tune in next month on Bloomberg TV for more conversations about saving our soil and sustainable living ideas. And don't forget to follow us on all our social media sites